Hey, it's Dr. Nuesse from EasyDOTphysicals.com, back again with another video. And in this one, I'm going to bust 5 drug testing myths. These are things that I hear from people coming into my office or down in the comments section of some of my other videos. So I'm going to bust 5 drug testing myths, and I'm actually going to confirm 1 myth. So before I get into it, please consider staying subscribed to this channel. I run a drug testing collection site, so whenever the FMCSA or the government updates their standards or their protocols, I make update videos. I don't want people to go into their next drug test with any surprises. And then if you're interested in real, meaningful drug testing reform, especially reform for THC marijuana, please consider liking this video so that the YouTube algorithm can show it to more people and may become informed as well. And if you want to help support the channel, check out my spring shop, and I'll leave a link to that below. All right, myth number 1 is exercise will help you detox quickly and then you will test positive in a shorter period of time. This one is just flat out not true. As a matter of fact, I think if you start an exercise program with the intention to detox, especially for THC marijuana, that this can actually increase your chance for testing positive. I've done a full video on why this is. I will leave that link up here. Now, if you are on an exercise program and exercising consistently all throughout, maybe you've exercised for years and years and you're very consistent with your exercise, that may help you with the detox process because your metabolism is running a little faster. But people that find out they have to have a drug test performed and then they immediately start exercising really hard, I think that is a big no-no. Again, check out that video for the full description why. So exercise is not a good way to metabolize or detox faster. All right, myth number 2 is THC marijuana stays in your system for exactly 1 month. So 1 month is generally the quoted average. That's the average that I quote people when they just want a general answer. But the problem is THC, marijuana, is fat soluble. So it is absorbed by body fat and then released over time. So there can be many different factors that lead to some people testing in a very small or short window, and some people can test positive for a very long window. Again, I've quoted the government chart that states that in a urinalysis, marijuana THC can be detected for anywhere from 3 days all the way up to over 2 months. Very shortly, I'm going to make a full video breaking down different individuals based on body fat percentage and how heavy they use and so on and so forth, and estimate the amount of time for each of these different individuals. So stay subscribed and stay tuned for that video coming up. But 1 month, it's just, there's too many factors to say it's going to be out of your system in 1 month. It may be much shorter than 1 month. It may be, unfortunately, much longer than 1 month. All right, myth number 3 is that when you come in to give your sample, we are going to be watching you give your sample. This is just not true. This is not the government standard. Now, there are cases where a particular private employer might request what's called an observed sample, and then you will have to give your sample in front of somebody actually observing you give the sample. And if you're suspected to be cheating for whatever reason, then that might trigger us to have an observed sample. But if you are just coming in, let's say getting your Department of Transportation drug test or something like that, we will be putting you in a room by yourself. You will be giving the sample, packaging it up, and then giving it back to us. We will not necessarily be observing you. Myth number 4 is drinking a whole bunch of water right before the test is going to help you pass. So this is not true. What's going to happen is, this is called dilution. This is one of the ways that people try to cheat on the drug test. They drink a whole bunch of water, so hopefully their sample is diluted, meaning that the amount of metabolites they have in their urine goes down because there's more water. The problem with this is that labs are going to test for what's called specific gravity, which is the concentration of normal human urine. And if that is too low, we might reject that sample. So diluting your urine by drinking a whole bunch of water right before your drug test is not a good idea. That will not help you pass. And finally, myth number 5 is that if you put something in your sample, so you alter your sample before you give it back to the collector, that will help you pass. This is absolutely the worst thing that you can do. The labs are going to check for adulterants in the sample. They're going to check the pH, these kind of things. So altering the sample is, I don't know where people get the idea that that is a good idea. There's nothing that you can put in the sample that's going to mask whatever substance that you are concerned about and help you then pass the drug test. That's just flat out not true. All right, so that's the 5 myths. Here is the one that I am actually going to confirm, and that is that using synthetic urine can actually help beat a drug test. So I have done now 2 videos on this. I've actually given the reason why I think that synthetic urine unfortunately can beat a drug test. I've given you the data behind why I feel that that is the case, and then I've actually put it to the test. I went in, used synthetic urine in an unaffiliated lab, someone that we're not affiliated with here in our office, and I passed a drug test using synthetic urine, unfortunately. So this is, again, a very big hole in our current drug testing procedures and policies that I think needs to be closed. But that is a myth that I can 100% confirm. Now, is it going to be true in all cases? Can I guarantee that somebody's going to pass using synthetic urine? No, absolutely not. But it's not a myth. It is possible to pass a drug test using synthetic urine. All right, that's 5 myths busted and 1 confirmed. I hope this was helpful. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.